Welcome back to another video where I'm explaining all the Fire Force captains. Today I'm explaining that girl, Hibana, best girl, favorite girl, at least to me, that she is the Fire Force. She is the Fire Force captain of Company 5, as well as she is one of the first antagonists that we are introduced to. Not a villain, antagonist, but then Shinra was able to change her heart, and I think they get married. Could be wrong. Of course. Now, her background, she grew up in the Holy Soul Temple. Of course, we see that realization a couple episodes back to what they were doing to the girls and the experiments that they were planning and the experiments that they were giving out via the bugs that they fed them. Anyway, her abilities, Hibana is of course a third generation pyrokinetic who has the ability to create flower-shaped flames through her hands or fan. An ability she calls Clematis. She can surround her opponent in an abundance of cherry blossom like flames, the skin upon touch, and inflicts harmful cuts. These flames are powerful enough to destroy multiple infernal cores with ease. So while she a captain, the infernals are nothing to most of the captains. Weaker captains like Ponko Pat, like he has the need of others there. Just because if he uses his own ability, just puts strain on his body. Now, Hibana can control the surrounding temperature, which can extinguish certain ignition abilities that rely on external factors. She can also envelop a person's body in heat, resulting in them developing heat syncope, which can subdue them and cause dizziness, as she tried to do with Shinra. But Shinra was able to easily blitz through that. Anyway, this effect can be easily applied to multiple opponents at once, as her knowledge of science allow her to assess an opponent's power and how her heat control will affect their attacks. Now, despite her intelligence and offensive strength, Hibana lacks skill in combat due to her receiving no formal training, which she takes pride in. So she's never went to the school that Shinra goes to, Fire Company Instructor School. She never went there. Claiming to be a researcher and not a barbarian, and as a result her endurance is extremely limited, which holds her back from other captains, as she cannot be in battle for too long. As if anything doesn't go to her plan, she would be often able to react or counterattack quickly, as she is also considerably frail and lacks durability, being capable of being knocked unconscious with a single punch or an object striking her head. Of course, we see her in the introduction arc with many of the other captains. We see her as one of the main antagonists, as they have to face the 8th in the Special Fire Brigade arc, as well as the Akazu arc. And we see her making an appearance in the Vulcan Workshop arc, when Lick is introduced, and of course Falcon and her sister is introduced. We also see him in the Netherworld arc, as the 5th Angels 3 inform them of the brigade's abilities, while Hibana dismisses them. She only cares about the events inside the Nether, as she privately expresses her concern for Captain Obi. She is there for the Hajime Industries arc, the Stigma arc, and Obi's rescue arc. Of course, she may have liked Obi more than she liked Shinra, but Shinra is, of course, her crush throughout the whole show. Of course, anyway, she returns to she appears in the Saint Rayful arc, cameo, post Arthur's Adventure arc, cameo, and then, of course, the Great Cataclysm arc, which is effectively at the end of this Fire Force season, whether we get that as an hour special or a movie in totality. In any basis, if anything, her name, I just wanted to throw this in here, means fire, flame, light, or blaze, and flower petal, as most of the girls that was in the Holy Soul Temple are named after flowers. Anyway, that was the video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.